Hey guys, hoping all is well with everybody. In this video we're going to be continuing on with the Chapter 13 study guide on weather with our vocabulary definitions. So the last time where we ended was we discovered what a high pressure system was, and that's basically where a large body of circulating air has a high pressure at its center and low pressure around the outside of the system. So our first definition to start is going to be a low pressure system, which is a contrast of a high pressure system. So it's almost like a high pressure system, but things are flip-flopped. So it's a large body of circulating air with low pressure at its center and high pressure on the outside of the system. Okay. So again, and the way that you can kind of remember it is just what's in the center. So high pressure systems have high pressure in the center, low pressure systems have low pressure in the center. Okay? So let's move on to our next definition. So our next definition is air mass. And an air mass is large bodies of air that have uniform temperature, humidity, and pressure. Temperature, humidity, and pressure. So the large bodies of air that have uniform temperature, humidity, and pressure. Now, the way that the book kind of describes it is it kind of breaks these into several different types of air masses. So the ones that I'm gonna use as examples are just there's Arctic, continental polar, maritime polar, continental tropical, maritime tropical. Those are all types of air masses. But again, they revolve around the definition that they're large bodies of air that have uniform temperature, humidity, and pressure. Okay? Let's look at our next definition. So the next definition is another contrast with an air mass. So this is called a front. So a front is a boundary between two air masses. Okay. So the air mass itself is a large body of air that is with uniform temperature, pressure, and humidity, but the front itself is a boundary between two air masses. Okay. Let's look at our next definition. Our next definition is tornado. A tornado is defined as a violent whirling column of air in contact with the ground. violent whirling column of air in contact with the ground. So we're kind of pretty familiar with tornadoes. You know, they're the circulating column of air that, to be honest, they look fascinating, but they at the same time can be extremely dangerous. But they are a really cool phenomenon to observe. Let's look at our next definition. Okay. The next definition is a hurricane. And a hurricane is defined as an intense tropical storm with winds exceeding over 119 kilometers per hour. With winds exceeding 119 kilometers per hour. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind with hurricanes is, depending on where they're located on the earth, they do have different names. So if you may hear different names that are synonymous to hurricanes in different parts of the world. I think some are called cyclones, some are called typhoons. So it kind of just depends on where you are in terms of its name. Okay, but a hurricane is an intense tropical storm with winds exceeding over 119 kilometers per hour. Okay, this next definition is blizzard. So when we think of a blizzard, we think of a intense snowstorm, and that's basically what it is. It's a violent winter storm characterized by freezing temperatures, strong winds, and blowing snow. So it's a violent winter storm characterized by freezing temperatures, strong winds, and blowing snow. So, okay, let's look at our next definition. Okay. Our next definition is a surface report. Now, this is coming into the part of the chapter when we can talk about weather forecasting. So surface report it describes a set of weather measurements made on Earth's surface. Describes a set of weather measurements made on Earth's surface. Okay. Alright, so the surface report is done on the Earth's surface. Now, in comparison or contrast to that, this next definition is the upper air report. So, as opposed to taking measurements on Earth's surface, a upper air report is describing wind, temperature, and humidity conditions above Earth's surface. conditions above Earth's surface. Okay. So that in comparison to the surface report. So it's describing the wind, temperature, and humidity conditions above Earth's surface. Let's look at the next definition. The next definition is going to be the Doppler Radar. And the Doppler Radar is a specialized type of radar that can detect precipitation as well as the movements of small particles. As well as the movement of small particles. And the movement of those small particles can actually be used to approximate wind speed and other attributes of the weather in a particular area. Okay. Let's go to our next definition. Our next definition is defined as isobars. Now, isobars are just lines that connect all places on a map of the same pressure. Where pressure has the same value. So it's lines that connect on a map where pressure has the same value. Now this last definition we're going to be talking about is a computer model. A computer model is defined as a computer program that solves a set of complex mathematical formulas that solves complex mathematical formulas and these formulas predict which temperatures and winds may occur at other altitudes of other attributes of changing weather. So where temperatures and wind may occur, where certain temperatures and wind may occur. Okay. And may occur and other attributes. Okay. So it's a computer program that solves complex mathematical formulas where certain temperatures and wind may occur and other weather attributes. So this does conclude our definitions, guys. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out and ask, but we will start to begin the conceptual questions of the study guide in our next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take good care.